Hello everyone, welcome to PMC Qatar Book Club. We are reading the book Spiritual Growth Being Your Higher Self by Sania Roman. We are into the section 2 of the group that is opening inward, chapter 9 Calming Your Emotions. At an energy level, there is still much turbulence on your earth plane. The wave patterns in your universe have not yet lost what might be called the violence of creation. In the higher realms, the wave patterns are smoother and calmer. Part of your purpose on earth is to bring these calmer, smoother energies to the earth plane, assisting in the evolution of matter. You might feel this turbulence most strongly in your emotions. Learning to calm your emotions is an important step in becoming your higher self. Strong and heavy emotions take you out of your peaceful center and make it harder to hear the quiet voice of your higher self. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you always felt calm, centered, and balanced? You might still have strong feelings to do things, but they would be harmonious, balanced feelings rather than turbulent ones. Emotions focus you in time and space. Your emotions are the fuel that propels your thoughts into manifestation. Your feelings of wanting something make it easier to bring it into your life. Though you need to have a feeling about something before you can create it. You can create things from the positive, harmonious emotions rather than from the negative or disharmonious ones. Part of your journey into your higher self is to learn to hear and act upon its guidance. When your emotions are calm, you will hear this guidance mentally, take action, and find your life flowing smoothly. When you don't follow the whispers and guidance of your higher self, you may find the things growing harder. You may create the circumstances that trigger the strong and turbulent emotions. Strong and intense emotions signal you that you are not following the path and guidance of your higher self. The further away from your higher self you are, the harder things becomes and the more intense and turbulent your emotions may be. For instance, one man kept having thoughts that he needed to change his job. He didn't take any action, however, and soon felt increasing resistance to coming to work. He started to feel bored and restless, but still didn't take any action. The feelings intensified, and he began to dislike his job so much he developed the minor colds and illnesses that allowed him to stay home. His performance suffered, and one day he was fired. He immediately took action to get a new job. To his amazement, he found a wonderful job right away. He realized things would have been much easier had he left his job when he first had the guidance to do so, and he wouldn't have experienced so much turbulent emotions. To grow with joy, it is important to follow your inner messages and make small, easy changes. Then the things will not get so out of balance and you will not create situations that trigger the strong and intense feelings. If you are feeling a negative emotion about some things, ask your higher self what guidance you need to hear to make things work more smoothly in this area. Every negative emotion signals you that there is a message from your higher self you need to pay attention to. When you when you hear the message, you can take the actions your higher self is guiding you to take and change the situation that is causing you turmoil. If you feel a negative emotion, stop and ask your higher self, what is the message? What do I need to look at in my life or do differently? Learn to pay attention to the slightest feelings of irritability resentment, or negativity. Is there any area you consistently have the negative feelings about? Stop for a moment and ask for a message on this area. Your highly evolved teachers have not gotten the rid of their emotions, for emotions are the part of the human experience. However, their emotions are peaceful and harmonious, no matter what is going on around them. They listen to their higher self guidance and create harmony and clarity all about them. As you achieve greater levels of mastery, you may still recognize a flash of anger or irritation, but you will learn to process these feelings in an instant. Ask what guidance you need to pay attention to and let them go. You have one prominent emotion called your birth emotion and several satellite emotions. There are many currents of energy going through you in the form of emotions. One is your birth emotion. It is a deep feeling that you have carried throughout your life. Although every cell and atoms in your body is different from where you were born, unless you have undergone a major spiritual transformation, you still carry this core feeling with you. Some of you choose optimism, happiness, complacency as your main feeling tone. Others choose an underlying feeling of pessimism, resentment, or disappointment. Some have an easygoing nature, others feel a quiet melancholy, loneliness, or unhappiness. Some people choose love as their main feeling tone, others choose to be a serious or fun loving. Some choose marks more superiority, others choose to feel unworthy or inferior. Think for a moment about your most prominent feeling. Are you normally happy, easygoing, or optimistic? Are you tense, worried, or unhappy a lot? If you don't recognize your most noticeable feeling tone right now, simply be aware that you have one and ask to know more about it. You may sense it as an inner note rather than distant feeling. Besides a prominent feeling tone, you have 5 to 7 satellite emotions that make up your prime emotional identity in this lifetime. What emotions do you feel most often? Your higher self choose these particular emotions to lead you into certain experiences you would not have without them. Your emotions are the lenses through which you look out at the world. When you are happy, you see the world differently than when you are angry or sad. Experiencing each emotion is like putting on a new pair of glasses. Every feeling shows you a different way of looking at the world. You choose these feelings, these emotions, because they give you the perspective that would provide the most growth for you. You choose the range of intensity of your emotions. Some of you have chosen a very broad range from immense pain to greater joy. Some of you have chosen narrow ranges, preferring to work with subtle levels such as moderate joy to a moderate unhappiness. Because you live in a polarity, for each positive emotions you have, you will also have its opposite. Emotional calm comes from finding the balance point, bringing all your emotions into harmony with your higher self. You have a lot of daily emotions, and most of them are fleeting. If you think back to the feelings you have had today, you might recognize at two or three different ones. Emotions are like a moving force field. You can experience them and then let them flow right through you. It is important not to identify with them or hang on to them longer than necessary to gain their gifts. Any that take you out of your center are showing you that In some way, you are not flowing and in touch with your higher self. Some of you feel more alive when you have strong, turbulent emotions. You may worry that calming your emotions will make you feel less alive. For instance, if things are too peaceful with your mate, you may think that your relationship has lost some of its passion and aliveness. You may be confused. You may be confusing intensity with love. Some people think that unless there is a lot of emotional drama in a relationship, the other person doesn't care for them. They love high, intense feelings and create dramas in order to feel them. What images and thoughts come up for you as you think of being calm all the time? Some of you learn to value harmonious emotions but first experience turbulent ones. You may be angry or cry for hours, feeling hurt, betrayed, or rejected. You will come to a point where strong negative emotions are intolerable and you want peace above all else. With that strong desire, you will begin to make the changes that will bring calm into your life. Are you ready to let go of the drama? If so, say to yourself, I choose peace. Love the people for who they are, not for who you want them to be. If your turbulent emotions are coming from upsets in your relationship, look closely. Are you accepting other people for who they are? Or are you withholding your love until they become who you want them to be? You always win by supporting other people in being who they are rather than who you want them to be. Usually, when you release your attachment to a wanting people to be a certain way, they become more cooperative and loving. Your most intimate relationships involve your greatest expectations and present your greatest challenges to being calm and centered. If your loved ones are upsetting you, ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? What pattern within me are they triggering? Does this situation remind me of something hurtful from the past? What am I learning from this turmoil? If you feel disappointed with the way people are behaving or treating you, rather than assuming that you have done nothing to cause their behavior, ask, what am I doing? Am I making them defensive? Am I demanding that they act in certain ways to please me? Am I making what they do wrong in any way? Am I accepting and loving them for who they are? Knowing how your words and behaviors affect others makes it easier to create the reality you want with them. Once you feel hurt, many of you become protective and closed and wanting to be certain you are not going to be hurt again. From now on, whenever people are doing something that upsets or hurts you, see it as an opportunity to learn to love them rather than protect yourself. Send love to your feelings of hurt. Realize that other behaviors that hurt you are coming from their fear of being hurt themselves, not from their intent to harm you. One man was continually upset over his relationship with his wife because he felt she neglected him. He had many specific things he thought she should do to prove she loved him, such as being home every night, watching television with him, and staying home with the children rather than working. She truly loved him and tried her best to please him. But she also wanted a career and wanted to go out occasionally. She became increasingly silent and withdrawn as he grew more angry. One day, in a moment of inspiration, he decided that he was contributing to the turbulence and began to think about how he could change. He asked himself why her behavior upset him so much and why he felt abandoned when she went out. He realized his father had felt abandoned by his mother, who had died early in their marriage. He had taken his father's feelings of abandonment as his own and was trying to prevent the same circumstances from occurring in his life. Yet his effort to protect himself was creating more distance between his wife and himself, the very thing he didn't want to happen. As he stopped making her wrong and became more loving and accepting, he realized that she was very loyal and was not going to abandon him. Their relationship became calmer and more loving as he let go of needing her to stay around constantly and trusted that everything she did honored both of them. You can choose peace no matter how others are acting. When you have unhappy emotions, doesn't think another person caused them. If you are angry, stop blaming another person for making you angry. Instead, work directly with your feeling of anger. Learning about why you are feeling angry will do more to take you higher than trying to figure out how to get the other person to change. Waiting for others to act in a certain ways to be happy is making your happiness dependent upon something outside of yourself. It is turning your power over to other people and allowing them to determine how you feel. Calm emotions come from knowing that what you feel is your choice. You do not want your good feelings to depend upon another person or an outside situation. Put your energy and time into going higher and making your own life work. Spiritual growth involves developing the ability to understand yourself and to act in a higher and higher ways. Everything in your life is teaching you about yourself. Do not make yourself wrong if you have a lot of turbulence in your life. See it as an opportunity to grow and know more about yourself. Notice that you have already gained a level of mastery over your emotions. For there are certain situations that might have greatly upset you years ago that you now let pass quickly. Perhaps when someone slighted you in the past, you felt bad about it for days. Now you simply shrug and decide it's their problem, not yours. You will get to a point, if you aren't there already, at which you can say, people are the way they are, and I will not take their actions personally. In fact, their negative behavior is showing me that they need my love even more. The higher your consciousness, the more your emotions will affect others. Even if they are more physically near you, everyone sends out an emotional broadcast. As your vibration increases, you have more life force energy pouring through you, and your broadcast affects more people. As you grow, you have more and more responsibility to send out a peaceful and harmonious broadcast. In the higher dimensions, where all the telepathically linked as one consciousness, it is important that everyone contribute high harmonious feelings to the whole. You may have noticed how one very upset person can affect a whole room full of people, and how one very powerful, wise, and loving person can set a high tone that everyone follows. All negative emotions show you where you are not aligned with the vision of your higher self. If you are in emotional crisis or turmoil, Do whatever is nurturing to you. Curl up with a book, take a warm shower, or buy something special for yourself. Make space in your room to sit and think, read, or listen to music. Do something for yourself that makes your environment more beautiful or elegant. It is a time to love yourself, nurture yourself in small ways, for as you do, you will learn to nurture yourself in a bigger ways. Love yourself and all your emotions as they come up. Take the time to examine what positive things you are learning from this turmoil. Remember that crises often offer the opportunities to reach the deepest level of your being and know your higher self in a new ways. Often that is why you create them. You can change and release your emotions more rapidly by thoroughly, truly, truly. You can change and release your emotions more rapidly by truly experiencing them when they appear. Feel the emotions in your body. Where is it located? If it had a color, what color would it be? Don't try to take yourself out of the feeling. Let yourself feel it. After you have identified it in your body, send light to that area. You would discover that most emotions, even the strongest ones, pass quickly after you experience them, love them, and hear their messages. Stop thinking about whatever problem is creating the strong emotion and focus on the feeling of the emotion itself. Breathe deeply and imagine your body being filled with light. As you thoroughly feel your emotion, you can release it. After releasing it, feel the higher side of that emotion. Every negative emotion has a positive emotion on the other side. Ask for the positive emotion to now come in and replace the negative one you felt. Music can have a very soothing effect on your emotions. Both vibrate and have a resonance and rhythm. You may have noticed that when you put on beautiful music or environmental sounds, it calms you or makes you feel more joyful. Use the music as a tool to feel calm or however else you want to feel. You can also change your emotions through meditations and quieting your mind. Certain thoughts trigger certain emotions as you think calmly. You calm your emotions. Your emotions also respond to actions of your physical body, and they can be affected by certain foods. Many forms of exercise, such as walking, running, swimming, and bicycling, are calming to the emotional body. They quiet the mind and bring your thoughts up to a higher vibration by creating a smoother flow of energy. You can choose peace over worry, calm over turbulence, and love over conflict. As you follow and listen to the guidance of your higher self, your life will work in easier and more joyful ways. As you calm your emotions, you become more transparent to the turbulence of the earth plane and will transform it into the smooth, harmonious, and finer vibration of your higher self. Thank you.